Okay, happy Thursday, traders. Welcome. So I hope that you guys are having a great week so far. I'm going to break you down some of the trades that I've taken. As I said, these pre-market streams are going to be a little bit longer. Gives you a chance to ask questions in the live, in the chat, and then obviously walking through a bit of, just what I'm seeing on the charts and so forth. Let's just let the guys know in the Discord that I am live as well. Let's go like that. There you go. Okay, cool. Yeah, I see you guys. What's up, Tony? So I hope you guys having a good day so far. So let's first get into it. NVDA had earnings yesterday, and we are trading up almost 5% overnight. So that's obviously the big news on the markets right now. NVDA just soaring on those news release, and we can go over an article now on CNBC that kind of breaks it down. But yeah, beating earnings and NVDA trading well higher into the pre-market session. Yeah, obviously US indexes are going to be rising on that. Nasdaq up almost 2%, and I think sometimes we only hear about when the Nasdaq's down. We don't actually hear when it's trading a lot higher. So yeah, that's obviously good for longer term portfolios as well. So if you go to the Nasdaq on the daily time frame, we are currently sitting off the highs 5%, give or take. So just from a perspective of today, we'll get into that, what I'm going to be looking at, levels that I'm watching, and anything like that. But yesterday I had a pretty simple trade. You guys from my pre-market stream would have heard that I wanted to keep it pretty small and steady. And I managed to get some longs at the New York session open here yesterday, as we can see. I took the longs back from this level of here, right at the open, back up to the highs there. So I missed out on a bit of a chunk of the move, and I really did like the shorts off the previous day's highs. So that white dotted line was previous day's highs up there. But just playing my levels and sticking to my game plan. I knew that was NVIDIA earnings obviously could be a big impact and influence on that. So I traded my plan. In terms of what I am looking at today, so I got some levels that I was looking at. As long as we stay above these previous days highs, I'm going to be looking for longs. Longs ideally off above 760, but we'll see how we do end up into the open as well. Obviously, we are trading much higher on the indexes and well as a lot of the stocks as well. We can even look like Robinhood, Palantir, SMCI, Rivian, everything just green at the moment. AMD is up 4.5%. So it's going to be interesting to see if we continue this follow through into the open. So let's go over here. So this is on CNBC. NVIDIA posted another monster quarter. Here's the number that impressed analysts the most. The chip makers' earnings and revenue exceeded consensus estimates, sending the stock higher by more than 4%. NVIDIA also reported $51.2 billion in data center sales, its most important business. This marked a 66% year-over-year rise and beat the $49.09 billion analyst polled by Street Account. Okay, so they're obviously, beating earnings is massive. And I think as I was saying yesterday, markets were kind of just waiting for that NVIDIA release before, seeing which direction market's going to go in. So ES has been trading lower over the last, we can go on the hourly time frame on ES as well. Over the last 2 weeks, we've kind of set in on a high up here this was in beginning of November, and we currently are down off those highs 2.8%. So still some room to get back up there. But I mean, we are trading still underneath some key levels that I am watching as well from the higher time frames. I've got a level at 800 that I am looking at. So kind of over here. I think maybe we do get there up to today, but it's going to be important to see that we do get follow through. Another important factor in today is that we do have, let's let it load. We do have NFP today as well. So you can see over here, let's just reload that page. We do have NFP in the next 22 minutes. So obviously that's going to be an important factor as well for data. Any questions in the live chat right now? Going into today's open. Obviously, yesterday I did also go over my trades from the previous day. So let's go like this. From Tuesday. And I think something that has been quite important for me this week has just been sticking to my plan. Yesterday, I mentioned that I want to trade small and just keep it steady heading into the print. Okay. And I think today, I just want to see how markets react to this. yes, we are up pretty healthy overnight, but that doesn't just mean we come in and buy, right? Okay, so if we have a look at, I had a nice day on Tuesday, and can have a look over here. So you can see over here on Tuesday, I mentioned that I had those ES longs. I know we got the flush down, kind of that false breakout pattern, back above New York session VWAP, and I took some profits in. And I spoke about the importance as well of taking profits when they're on the table, because we end up pulling back, and then I end up getting back in again at size. And this is just using the edgeful data and the opening range and VWAP, right? Any questions on some of these trades or anything that I'm talking about? Anything on any? You guys have any buyers coming into today's open? It's been a pretty good. Let's go over here like this month. It's been a pretty good month for me so far. I've had the 1 or 2 losing days, and then being green C. Yesterday I just kept it pretty small across all my accounts, personal and prop. But yeah, just taking it one day at a time, right? One day at a time. So let's start my day on Thursday. I can put it in like this, and we can start doing my prep as well for today. So as I mentioned, I got some levels here on ES that we are trading towards. I am seeing at the moment that we are making lower highs, right? Like that. So I'm wary of that and just looking to buy. We have also, as I said, been up and down, back and above the overnight or daily VWAP as well. So that's something interesting to watch. I think if we do clear the 724 level, we could definitely see back down lower, back into the 600s on ES. Most of my trades are either on ES or NQ. And then a few of the individual stock names, the VIX, just to go over the VIX as well. The VIX is trading lower. So normally when the VIX is higher, trading higher, stocks are coming down. And obviously that's going to bring indexes lower too. Any questions in the chat? I see Addy's in the chat here as well. Any guys new to edgeful that maybe don't know where to start? Well, I always say for the guys that want to, first get their toes dipped into the edgeful data is just keep it simple. Have a couple of reports that you look at. Personally, I have kind of like 2 or 3 main ones that I look at. I really like the opening candle continuation as well as the previous day's range report. But as you can see, I use quite a few of them here on the right-hand side. Something interesting that I do always mention at the start of the week is that we do have volume trends, okay, by weekday. Now, a lot of traders come into the week. This is on QQQ, but we can go to ES or NQ. A lot of the guys come in, or traders come in wanting to start the week hot, but normally volume picks up, particularly when we do have NVDA earnings on a day like yesterday, where it's middle of the week. We want to wait for volume to pick up. And as you can see over here, look how the volume picks up as the week progresses. That simply means to me that we want to be trading when volume is higher, because it's going to present more better trading opportunities, at least for me, right? Obviously, you guys could be trading range plays. And then I also did make a video about this on the weekend, but about if you guys are trading currencies. So I've been trading for 8 years. I traded currencies for 5, and the last 2.5, 3, I've been trading a lot of indexes and individual stock names, right? And I wanted to show you this, where was it? Seasonality report with, let's go over like a currency pair like GBP USD, where the biggest month or seasonality report on this has just been over 2%, compared to a stock like Tesla, where we have multiple double-digit months in the last 3 years in terms of seasonality. So this seasonality is the average performance of the index or asset on any given month in the last 3 years. You can go to the 5 years as well. Something interesting that I also did bring up pre-market, I think last week, was if we go to the seasonality on ES. So let's go over here. We can actually see that November in the last 3 years, and even over the last 5 years, has been the best month. So maybe NVIDIA reporting great earnings could definitely send us higher. after marriage, you made any changes in your trading styles? Yeah, it's a good question. I used to trade a lot of the London session. So what Pranav is asking is I got married in the start of this year. A lot of my trading used to be in the London session and New York. I've really only been trading New York session in the last, but I think, you obviously have to, life gets busy. So yeah, that is definitely something that has changed for me. And that's a good question. Any questions in the live chat? Yeah. Yeah, all in. Poker changed my trading all in. No, Zaza, you got to know when to play. But unlike Zaza, unlike poker, this trading is pure skill, boss. Not luck with Oaks going in with 6-3 offsuit. Bloody Muppets. So we'll be on stream here for the NFP news release. Obviously, it's a bit of a weird one, where NFP is normally the first Friday of every single month, but because of the government lockdowns and shutdowns, there has been obviously a change to that. So it's a weird one. I've never had NFP on a random Thursday in the middle of the month. Yeah, we can speak about QQQ as well. What particularly do you want to speak about on QQQ? QQQ is basically the NASDAQ. So something that we can look at is, again, that opening candle continuation. I spoke about this yesterday. But essentially 71% if the first hour is bullish. The first hour will close bullish. If the first hour is bullish, 71.43% of the time we will close as a bullish closing day. And I love that opening candle continuation stat. We can speak about the NASDAQ, QQQ, NASDAQ, pretty much the same thing. So yeah, I think again on the NASDAQ, we got levels. As long as you hold above previous day's highs. Now this is size who you're asking on stream the other day. Where we are trading above previous day's highs now and holding it. I would like longs, but you do have to be wary of this level here at 220 on NQ, right? You do have to be wary of that. We could easily see this come and fill if we clear this level of 25K. As long as we hold above 25K, we definitely could hold the long bias. But I think, again, after these earnings, you just want to let the market settle, ease into it, and pick your spots well. Trading is not about trying to trade every setup. It's to try to pick your moments in the market, right? Let's speak. Yeah, can you show some stats on GC, Orb, or RB stats? Can have a look at that. GC, so we can even have a look at the opening candle continuation on GC. So this would be for the New York session. 69 and 56. So not great on GC. That's why stocks, because GC can trade all hours, stocks are a little bit better for that opening candle continuation, I must say. Any questions in the chat so far? So you can also have a look at some of the Orb stats on this. So in terms of the Orb stats, personally, I like to just trade the Orb. I won't look to target levels. I don't make it super complex. Like if you look at my trade from, where was it, from Tuesday? Okay, where I had a nice trading day. I was literally just looking at trading back into that Orb and using the stop loss at low of day, right? GC gives random movements at any session, so it's hard to get probability towards which session we should trade. Yeah, that is probably true. I mean, we can also have a look at probably let's have a look at GC. Is that let's have a look at, I think it could be, let's just have a look at the market session breakout, or market session correlation. you could probably have a look at something like this on GC, where you're looking at the market session breakout. If London closed green, what are the odds that New York closes green, and so forth. But for me, GC can be super volatile. I don't trade it personally. Yeah, but that's just me. So again, yeah, look at ES, how we are starting to kind of maybe form that next lower high. So I'm not just coming in and saying in short, but there are definitely, after markets have moved up so aggressively overnight, and we have quite a big gap, sometimes that gap fill that report does work. When the gap fill will be down at give or take 0.67% today at 700 on ES. Okay, well, obviously we have to wait until open, and we do have news coming out. Given that overnight session moves a lot more than it used to, do you process or look at overnight session data? It's a good question. I do have a look at pre-market price action and data. I always use extended market hours. I prefer it. I know some traders only use regular trading hours. I use extended market hours. I do like to look at that price action pre and post session. Midnight price on ES is midnight price, I think it is 703. I personally don't really use midnight price or anything like that. I just trade what's in front of me. Again, yesterday I was speaking about, a lot of traders that are, even the guys that I've been working with, some of the guys just want to be right in calling levels or getting a certain RR on their trades. I'm trading to make money, right? I don't care about, what RR my trade went. If I'm making money, day in and day out, that's all that really matters. And I've shown you my month that's been going pretty solid. So yeah, that's the only thing that matters is making money. Calling levels and so forth, I think it's a tough one. That midnight price, yeah, I don't particularly look at that. I will look at the gap fill. I think the gap fill could be, if I'm not mistaken, gap fill and midnight price, the gap fill changeover price would be the same as midnight, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, you guys can correct me in the chat. But yeah, 9 minutes now till news comes out. So let's keep that in mind, the NFP news release. However, you got any questions? Good to have you guys in here in the edgeful Discord. Let me know if you have any questions or anything like that, or any trades that you would like me to go over. I'd love to cover it. Anything that you've been working on or struggling on this week. As I said, I think for me, gap fill is in respect to yesterday's close, I believe. Yeah, correct. It is yesterday's close, which would be kind of the same as midnight price, right? Kareem, I'm not too sure. I think it is. But yeah, in terms of my trading and what I'm working on at the moment is knowing when to push and when to back off. As I said yesterday, I was going to play it pretty small because of the NVDA earnings. Now, there were some great setups yesterday that maybe you could have attacked on, but if you don't and you take a loss on a day where there's NVDA earnings, there's NFP the next day, you got to box smart. You don't want to play big when factors aren't in your favor. We have NFP coming out in 7 minutes, which is obviously on today, Thursday, and yesterday going into the open, I knew that there was NVIDIA earnings coming out, and markets will be waiting for that. So it's not a smart thing to be doing in terms of playing big on a day where there's a lot of uncertainty. Let's put it that way. So in terms of earnings, let's see if there's any more earnings coming out on any big stocks. Yeah, you can see in the video yesterday. We do have Walmart today. Okay. And let's just sign in, yeah. You can actually check the earnings out also on, I think that earningscalendar.com gives me a great, earningshub.com gives me a great visual of it, where you can actually look at it on TradingView too, I guess. Like this, you just go to products, right? Products, calendars, earnings, like that, right? And then we can actually have a look on Thursday, and then you can just do it by market cap like this. So yeah, nothing really big today. Is this, I think of, yeah. So Yeah, here it is. Yeah, I can pull it up here as well. So this just gives me a better visual of that personally. But yeah, nothing big today, really, to speak of besides maybe Walmart, which I know is in the Dow. And then you can also have a look at next week. But yeah, any questions? This is some good stuff. What is the midnight price? So yeah, I think we did. Yes, closed at 662 yesterday. Midnight price was 6750. Do we trade the DAX yet? No, I haven't had any trades today. I'm waiting until the New York session open. I think, yeah, I mentioned this on the start of today's stream that, being busy and, with life and everything like that, with the family in the mornings has just made me push more into the New York session. My data was also telling me that I need to be trading more during that time frame as well. We've got someone from ASLX TV, Kelly. Jim. Yeah, but also something interesting just to keep a note out of. Next week there is Thanksgiving, so markets closed the whole of Thursday, and then markets close early on Friday, and that's for next week, right? So please just keep that in mind as well. We do have Neo earnings and Zoom earnings next week too, but yeah, next week Thursday markets are closed, and then early close on Friday. Okay, so we've got 5 minutes here till NFP. We'll wait on stream, let the numbers come out, and then we'll take it from there. Head off, and then I am live with Andre tomorrow at the Open, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, as always, Monday and Friday. And then I am live in my trading room today at 9:25 a.m. Eastern time, just before the Open, right? And the link is in my bio, as you can see if you're watching this online. What do you expect to happen when the data arrives? Well, yeah, to be honest, no one knows. I wouldn't be surprised to see it flush lower. But let's see. Markets are soaring right now, so you don't want to get in front of a steam train. That's where you sit on the sidelines, you wait for it to happen, and you pick your spots from there. It's a tough one, though. It's like rather go to the blackjack table or go roulette, spin it on red and black. Yeah. No, it's obviously always interesting to see or ask the question of what markets will do beforehand, but I would definitely never put any positions on heading into news releases or anything like that. I'd rather just trade after them, like pick up spots afterwards, right? Eddie, any questions on the edgeful? I know you just got it. Any questions your side right now? Yeah, we've got 2.5 minutes until the NFP news release. It'll be interesting. What's Bitcoin doing right now? Bitcoin is down at 91K. Just under 92K. Jeez. Look at that. It's been falling since we made the highs in the beginning of October. We are actually down on Bitcoin 27.5%. Yeah. Not looking great for Bitcoin. I guess if you're holding long, it could be a nice price to average in it. I think if you actually had a look at Bitcoin here on the daily time frame, there should be some support coming up. Yep, this is support coming between 80 and 90K for sure. Around about this level, right? Like that. So maybe price is coming back down to there before we could be looking for the next leg higher. But obviously, we'll have to speak to Size about that. I'm not too big into the crypto space, that's for sure. Okay, 1.5 minutes till news. Is there an edgeful report how often a 50-minute range break, pullback of VWAP are working? No, there isn't. Simply because I think to put VWAPs and moving averages on that, I think it can be sometimes subjective. But there is that, like you can look over here, like there is a report, as I said, like that opening candle continuation report, you can actually alter it. Like I've customized mine to the first, mine was actually on the first 30 minutes. I like using the first hour. But you can customize it. Like if you go to NVDA Okay, first hour in the last 6 months, if the first hour is bullish, 76% chance that we close as a bullish closing day and 79% for the shorts. But you can customize this to like a 15-minute time frame like this. So if the first 15 minutes is bullish on that, and that's what I would expect. If the lower the time frame, the less data or probabilities will be in your edge. We can have a look at ES or NQ as well on that. Orban prices above or behind, above VWAP, we can go long. Yeah, that's typically how I do like it. I really like using that New York session open VWAP. If we like, again, let's just refer to this trade over here. Like, look on this trade here. When that New York session VWAP is that blue one, when we get back above it, that's when I take my longs. I don't take it over here when we're pinning it. I take it above. Now, this is where we are trading still underneath the opening range low, but we are above that New York session VWAP. So I think once you find a way that you trade and you get more accustomed to it, it becomes a lot easier, right? Yeah, there's news being released at the moment. We're spiking up a little bit on ES. It becomes a little bit easier to understand what you're looking for. Yeah, not much movement here on that NFP for sure. Probably because we've moved so much already. Would you publish the top 5 probability conferences that we could see? Yeah. So the top 5 ones that I would have a look at, or that I do look at: opening candle continuation, previous day's range report, initial balance breakout report. And I don't like using all 5, but you could probably also look at the opening week range report. Okay, that's also quite a nice one. And yeah, those are the ones I would personally have a look at if you're looking at all 4. I personally use that opening candle continuation every single day, something that I just keep an eye out on. And the data is always changing, so that's why you got to keep up to date with the edgeful statistics. But yeah, this opening week range, we can maybe speak about this before wrapping up here. So after Monday and Tuesday sets a high and low, how often do we take out both sides? Okay, so essentially, if on ES, after Monday and Tuesday prints a high and low, so we can go over here, explain, there we go, higher. Whoop. See, you don't want to get in front of a freight train. So after Monday and Tuesday, we print a high and a low. Now, basically what this report does, yeah, recorder, you can rewatch the live stream. It should be on the edgeful YouTube as well as my YouTube as well. You will be able to rewatch it. All the live streams that we do are always, you can always go back on the channel and go rewatch it. So after Monday and Tuesday sets a high and low, if we take out one side, there's only on ES, there's only a 30% probability. Now we can look at it even from the daily time frame. So let's customize this. Let's go. So Monday and Tuesday, and let's choose session. Let's go to the daily time frame. So this is extended market hours. After Monday and Tuesday sets a high and low, only 38% of the time do we take out both sides, meaning that normally one side will hold, and you would want to look for extension in that direction, right? If that makes sense. So if we take out the highs, you want to be looking for longs on pullbacks and vice versa, because very rarely are we going to come back down and break the other side. So that's another one that you could possibly have a look at. There we go. So we're taking out this level that I was watching on ES, NQ as well, higher. DAX not really moving too much. Very choppy on the DAX today. It's to be expected with NFP and the gap up. But yeah, guys. Okay, so again, my plan is I'm going to wait for the 50 minutes opening range to set, pick my spots, wait for my levels, and go from there. You guys want to rewatch the stream, it is available on the channels. And then as well as we do have the live stream with Andre and I, where we've had some nice trades being taken on there, and you can learn from them on stream Mondays and Fridays at 9 a.m. Eastern time. I'm live on my stream Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The link is in my bio. You can go check that out as well on ASFX TV. Perfect, guys. Have a good rest of the session. We'll see you in the Discord rest of the day, on my live stream today and tomorrow. Have a good one, guys, and we'll see you all then. If you got any questions, make sure to let me know in the chat, but we'll take it from there. Cheers, guys. Have a great one.